Hello, everyone, and welcome to another movie review. I am happy you can join me today. Last weekend, I saw Kraven the Hunter. This is another movie I have been waiting on since January. And let me just put it out there. I am a big fan of Aaron Taylor Johnson. So, Kraven the Hunter is an action film in the Marvel Universe. It was directed by J.C. Shander, and it stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, Russell Crowe, and Ariana DeBose. It was released in theaters last Friday, the 13th, and the running time is under 2 hours, 10 minutes. Prior to the first trailer I saw back in February, I did not know that Kraven was a Spider-Man villain because I don't read the comics. I saw a few Spider-Man movies, and that is all I know about this world of Peter Parker. So for me, Kraven is just a character separate from Spider-Man. The first part of the film tells the origin story of Kraven. His real name is Sergei Kravinoff, and the film starts when his father, played by Russell Crowe, pulls him and his younger brother Dmitri out of boarding school after their mother commits suicide. On a hunting trip in Ghana, Sergei gets attacked by a lion, and to save his life, a preteen named Calypso, who has a healer Ghanaian grandmother, gives him a serum and a tarot card. The serum saves his life, and Sergei realizes that the serum gave him superhuman powers. He runs away from home in order to keep the promise he made to his mother not to become like his criminal father. However, he is left feeling guilty for leaving Dmitri behind. Fast forward to 15 years later, Kraven is hunting down a list of criminals, and he needs Calypso's help. She is played by Ariana DeBose. Kraven doesn't have a weakness per se, but when his brother gets kidnapped for ransom and Calypso joins him on his mission to get him back, he finds out who the real villain is. You think it is a monster named Rhino, but it becomes the story of, is the enemy of my enemy my friend, or my enemy also? So I am going to give this film 4 out of 5 stars. I mentioned in my War of the Rohirrim movie review that the other critics gave it a low grade on Rotten Tomatoes. And they did again with Kraven the Hunter. If you go on Rotten Tomatoes, the last time I went on that website, the average score among critics is 15%. The average score among moviegoers is 72%. And so I am thinking, what on earth is going on? I really don't get why the other critics bashed this movie so hard. It is an anti-superhero story. It is an action movie that is packed with action seeds. It is far from perfect, but the movie follows the rules of the action genre. It gives the audience what we are looking for when we buy a ticket to see an action movie. The only issue is that I have is that there is no love interest. If I was the filmmaker, I would have written the story where Kraven and Calypso hook up instead of them friend-zoning each other. But the relationship between Kraven and his father is plausible. The relationship between Kraven and his brother is plausible. And the fact that the serum give him superpowers, well, that is what you would expect in a comic book adaptation. Many comic book heroes and villains have superpowers. It is not the smartest comic book movie ever made, but you can easily suspend disbelief when you watch this movie. I have watched movies in the past before I became a critic where you cannot suspend disbelief. You are just not buying what you are seeing on the screen, and you end up watching a forgettable film. But Kraven is one of my favorite movies of the year, actually. And Aaron Taylor Johnson was totally committed to playing Kraven. I have been complaining all year that not every movie is worth the price of a ticket, especially when ticket prices are slowly creeping up. Kraven is worth seeing in the theaters. I had a great time, at the movies, and I was able to forget my real life problems for 2 hours. That is what I want in an action flick. And what I find a little bit frustrating, and this is another reason why I am happy that I became a critic. It wasn't something that I planned on being, but it's just something that I kind of fell into, and I'm glad that I did. What bothers me is that a lot of critics don't know how to watch a movie. They overanalyze every movie, even though certain movies don't need the overanalyzing because it is made simply to entertain the masses. And then to make matters worse, many critics have a tendency to be sarcastic and cynical, which leaves me thinking no one told you to become a critic. So what is the deal here? I am just as mad as the next person when I watch a bad movie, but I would assume that big budget movies are made by people who have somewhat of a brain. Therefore, they know when they are making a movie for the sole purpose of entertaining the masses for a couple of hours. So why should I overanalyze a popcorn movie when no one overanalyzes popcorn? No one is thinking about the science of turning corn into popcorn. We're all thinking about, do I want butter or caramel on my popcorn? Do I want fruit punch or a wild cherry Pepsi? Maybe I'm in the mood for Mountain Dew. Or maybe I want to wash down the popcorn with root beer. I don't know. But the point is, don't show off how smart you are. And I strongly believe that knowledge is knowing what to say. Wisdom is knowing whether or not to say it. So to me, Kraven the Hunter was marketed as an action flick. Therefore, I expected to get an action flick. And it did not disappoint. I would gladly watch it again if it ever comes out on DVD. I'm not quite sure if it will because lately stores don't sell DVDs anymore. But anyway, that is all for today, my friends. I will see you next time with another movie review. As always, thanks for watching. And until next time, have fun at the movies.